So I forgot to record this bit. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I've just gone to Thingiverse. I've opened a model. You basically just click on it. You click download, you click open, and it'll open in the Ultimaker software. This is, like I said, the software that translates from our 3D model into something that the machine can read. And we'll go over a few things in here. I picked something like kid likes. So, okay, where is it? It's open, but I don't see it. Thank you, Zoom. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is what you guys should have installed on your laptops. I've picked, this is a Lego man. My son is obsessed with Lego. We do a lot of this stuff. I design parts for him. Right out of the box, 90% of the time, you need not worry about any of these settings here. We'll kind of go through them. Just again, this is the 1,000-foot view of things. Layer height, this is going to determine the quality of your print. 0.1 is considered very fine. 0.2 is considered between draft and fine, and anything 0.3 and above is considered really fine. So you will see the lines in your print more and more the greater you increase that number. If you're printing something really large that you intend to sand later, draft quality is just fine. The rest of these defaults, unless you really know what you're doing, there's no need to muck with them. One you will be interested in, though, is this one, infill density. This is how much material is inside the printed model. In this case, 20% will be lots. But if you're printing something that's going to be a functional part and you want it to be strong, then you would bump that up further, all the way up to 100%. You get a solid object. The further you turn this down, the quicker your print is going to be, but you're sacrificing some strength for that. This stuff, print temperature, I wouldn't play with any of this. Chances are you guys will only be printing in PLA material. There are lots of other materials you can get, such as ABS, and that is a whole different ball of wax for printing that stuff. There's special chemical exposure considerations to be taken into account and whatnot if you're going to muck with those things. Ultimaker is really, really good with setting this stuff up out of the box. Like I said, it's pretty hassle-free. Speeds, I would leave this all as defaults as well. You can play with it and crank it up as you go. You can get a little bit more speed out of your machine, but no matter what you do, this is not a quick process. This can take hours and hours and hours. For a small piece like this, probably half an hour. We'll slice it here in a sec, and it will tell you quite accurately how long it's going to take to print. All right, the one that we do want to consider, though, is this one, support. So let's see if this will let me flip this whole thing around in 2 seconds. I'll show you a case where we would need to print supports. And what that is it's fairly self-explanatory. It is just the material that sticks to the print bed to support whatever it is you're printing. Say you've got something that's got a bridge between 2 points, you need something to support it underneath, or the printer will just print in midair and make a big spaghetti mess. So let's see, I just want to rotate this. So if I rotated this part, now take a look here. Okay, like you can see these little stubs under the arms here where it's just kind of sitting off in free space. This is a situation where if you were to print this model in this orientation, you would want to enable support, and that's just ticking this box. If it's something that just lays flat, you don't need to. Those are really the only things right off the hop that you guys need to be concerned about to get some of your first prints going. And after that, it's a matter of you just click slice. Since yours will be networked, instead of saying save to file, it's going to give you an option here that just says print. You click it, it sends the job to the printer, and that's it. You're good to go. So before we jump into a little bit of the design end of things here, any questions so far? Okay, Moving on. And like I said, anytime at any point here as we're going through this, if you're not sure about something or I'm moving too quickly, just ask, just shout out. I'm also recording this as well too.
Okay, Eric?
Yeah.
So when you tell, let's say that Kian is working on his computer or on the iMac, he figures out what he wants to print. And then you just said that we can send it to the printer. So that would be, so if it was set up in, is it better to have it set up in the same room that you're?
It shouldn't matter if it's on your network at the school, then it doesn't matter. You can, as long as the printer's on the network and your iMac is on the same network and can see the printer, it's just a matter of click print. It'll send the job over the network, very much in the same way as like sending a paper print to a multifunction. And it will queue the jobs too. So if there's a bunch of you that are trying to print stuff at the same time, it will queue the print jobs and won't start the next one until somebody goes and pulls their print out. It's really too bad that I can't be out there for this. We'll see, maybe after COVID, I can make a trip up there. I haven't been home in a while, so. Okay, we're gonna move into something that's really kid-friendly for design stuff. This is something my kid uses. He's 7 and takes me to school on it, so. Just a second.
It's pretty kid friendly. It's pretty everybody friendly.
I just realized it's a Lego.
Oh, you just realized. I thought you said you want.
Okay, and what I'm about to show you guys will require you to set up a free account. I just use my Google login for it. My life is all Zoom these days. I do city council meetings like this too. I don't like this new normal.
Easier.
Yeah, I'm a fairly social person, and not being able to interact with people is getting a bit old. All right, so, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just show you guys this thing, and I suggest you spend some time with it, just playing with it. It has kind of a built-in tutorial that tells you how to do stuff. It's extremely kid-friendly. So, Tinkercad, I think I'm already logged into it. Yeah, okay, yeah, so is my son. Here's all his stuff. And the beauty of this too, it lets you save your projects to the cloud. You can work on something, come back to it later. You don't have to worry about saving it to a laptop and losing it. So. So simple enough, it's got all these stock objects here, and you can just grab something and drag it out here and resize it to what you want with it, spin it around, whatever. It's a lot like MS Paint. As far as CAD design goes, this is as simple as it gets. A really, really easy way to get started here. So I'm just gonna make some arbitrary shapes here. So I'm playing with a solid right now. I want to make a hole. Oh, I just turned that object into a hole because it is selected. Okay, so let's get, say, a cylinder. Okay, cylinder. And I want the cylinder to be a hole. And I can just drag it on top of this guy. Size it, and there, just it's a hole in an egg, for argument's sake. There's also a library of a ton of different things in here as well too. So, like for example, I'm just going to delete these shapes. It's a good way to get kids started because they can just go find us something they like and go, okay, I like a dinosaur head. Bottom jaw there. and they can resize it, they can play with it, you can add different objects to it, you can delete parts off of it. I'm not going to go into too much detail at this point on how to use this thing. Get into it, play with it. It has a built-in tutorial, and it's honestly, the built-in tutorial is way better than anything that I can describe. What we will do though, once you're have something, we'll call this our made shape. We've spent hours drawing this. You just click export. And this is kind of important here. You want to export this as an STL file. STL is stereo triangulated lithography. This is what Kira reads for a 3D model format. So click STL. It says it's downloaded. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, and I just have to switch back over to the other piece of software here in a sec. So it already knows that this needs to be opened with Kira. It should be the same on your MacBooks. Anything that's an STL should already be associated. If it's not, again, I know a guy out there. So just wait for it to open here, Kira. Sweet time. Okay. Sure. Okay. All right. Okay, good stuff. So this one might be a situation where we would want to use supports. You see, we've got a couple parts that are kind of overhanging here. You can see where it's indicated in red, just on the bottom there. That's Kira telling you, hey, there's going to be an issue. I probably can't print this. I probably need to have supports. You might be able to get away with it with this because most of this stuff has got like a transitioned edge. It's rounded. So you might be able to get away with it. You might not. The proof is in the pudding when you go to actually print the thing and it fails and you go find that it's just a big spaghetti mess in the printer. If that's the case, go back, load the model again, and enable supports. I'm going to keep harping on supports as we go here because this is the one thing where you guys will probably run into a little bit of trouble if you just plainly don't know that that's something you need to do. Okay, I'm going to stop here again for any questions. Okay. Everybody's good? All right. This is going a lot quicker than I thought it was going to go. I'm going to show you one more thing just because this is something that's really fun to do with kids. This is a project that I showed Teresa. These things are called lithophanes, and basically what it is, you 3D print a photo on a piece of white material. So this will only work with white colored material, and then when you backlight it, it shows the picture, but you can't see the picture unless it's backlit. And I'll show you an example of that here, and then we'll go through making one. This is a fun one to do with kids too. These make awesome Christmas gifts. Okay, so bear with 2 seconds here.
Yeah, it's really fun.
No.
Amazing to design. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up an example here.
Project we did was, it's made cameras. Yeah, it was really cool, and they worked really well.
Like functioning camera.
Yeah, but you use analog materials, so you use old darkroom paper inside the camera and you process it. But you can also get digital kits now that you can insert into these things. So you come up with your own design.
I've got a fairly fancy phone. I've got a Samsung S21 and it's got a 3D scanner in it. It's pretty cool. I used it to scan the kids at Christmas time and made chocolate molds out of them. Just because it can. That's what happens when dad's a nerd. So this is kind of the idea here. Somebody's made a nightlight out of this, which is really cool. So you can get the idea. This is what the print looks like, and then when you backlight it, it pops to life. And what I did with this at Christmas time was made music boxes. Cool project. So I'm just gonna find a photo that we can use here. And I will show you guys how to do this, because this is very, very simple. That's not a good picture. That's not me. Good enough. That'll do. Okay, so go away, Zoom. A gift from Zoom. I don't want a gift from Zoom. So what we're going to use is this website called lithomaker.com. Around here, and when you navigate to this page, there's a whole bunch of different options for things that you can make. And okay. Okay, cool. There's Duke telling me that this meeting doesn't have a time limit on it. Good. All right, so when you get to lithomaker.com, each one of these example images here is just a link to click on for whatever you want to make. This is just the flat paneled one. That's what I use for making music boxes. This is really cool. This is it's a moon lamp. So it's the moon, and then you upload whatever image you want to it, and it will overlay that on. It's can make for a really cool gift. There's lamp shades and lamps and a bunch of different things. But for our purposes today, we're going to just do a flat panel.
No, it's on his end. He's the host.
Oh, you have to.
Okay. So once you get in here, it's fairly self-explanatory. How big do you want to make it? Yada, yada, yada. The only things that you really need to be concerned about is how big you want it. So I've got an image saved here. I will just find it. Oh boy. Quite the pile of folders in my desk.
What is the image format that it has to be in? Because I have,
Usually I stick with a JPEG, but it doesn't really matter. I think it'll read bitmaps as well. Oh, that's not that one. The wrong image there. I do want Holly, but I want my daughter Holly. So when you upload your image, it shows this black box, which is the printing area. So you've got these shift options here. So I want to shift that box up so it actually gets her face in it. Okay. Come on. Oh, shifting the wrong thing. That's what. All right. Okay, so I'm happy with that. This one's going to be 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter. There are some options here. You can print it with a frame, you can print it with a hook, you can print it with no border, so on and so forth. For this one, I just want the frame. You do have to sign up for this as well. It's free. I hope they never take it down. I've been using it for a couple of years. So generate STL. It will take it a second here. Okay. And it sends these down in zip files. So you got an iMac Pro, you can open the zip file, and then the STL just lives inside that. Okay. Switch gears here a second, back to our software. 2 seconds. Desperately want a new. I'm like a mechanic. I work on computers all day long and never work on my own stuff. Share the screen. All right, so this is what it generates. This is the STL file that it generates, and it doesn't. You can kind of see sort of what it's supposed to be, but again, the idea is you don't see anything until it's actually backlit. You can print this just like this. It is fairly thin, and when you print objects like that, there is the possibility that it'll detach from the print surface if there's not enough to stick it there. The printers that you guys have glass plates, so it shouldn't be an issue. For me though, because my printer does not stick things so nicely, you look over here on the left hand side, you've got these tool options where you can change the orientation of the thing. And what I want to do is rotate this so it's 90 degrees flat. So when you click the rotate tool, it shows you these spheres, just click on any one of them. Boom, that's it. And it should be good to go. You can print that. It's good to go. This is, again, probably a fun one for kids for Christmas gifts. I mean, it's bailed me out of Christmas a few times now, so it's fun for adults too.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Can you use these as molds?
You could, yeah, you could use these as molds. Mold making is something else that I actually do quite a bit of on the side. I don't know how well this would work as a mold.
When you said you made them in chocolate, how did you do that?
Oh, how did I do that? Okay, I used the 3D scanner on my phone, and I scanned them and I printed out the 3D model of their heads, and then I used casting rubber. You can get it at Creative Zone, and you just basically use the casting rubber to copy the thing that you've printed.
That's kind of what I was thinking, that you would make
Yeah.
a mold from the prints, and then you can make multiples.
Oh, absolutely. And I do that. I make cookie cutters on the side for kind of a side racket, and that's what I do. I print the masters and then I cast them out of resin, because it takes me 2.5 hours to print a cookie cutter, and I've got a lot of them now that are a bunch of the same thing. So I just have trays out in my garage and I just pour them and collect money. It's it's a fun hobby.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. So where was I here? Someone else in the turn it back.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to see one.
Yeah, I'll bring it to
Okay,
school.
thanks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I
Yeah. Those are some of the very first ones.
Where is he located?
Okay.
Nanaimo? No. Where are you?
I'm in Comox. I work for the city of Courtenay. I've been down here for just about 5 years now. Somebody come mow my lawn.
Somebody has
Beautiful.
a roll on here.
It's about 15 degrees today and nice.
Oh, nightmare, nightmare. I think we had 6, a high of 6.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd rather be at Shames today.
Yeah, wouldn't we all?
That was pretty much the bulk of what I wanted to go over with you guys today, just to get you started. And as we move down the line here, I will coordinate with Teresa, depending on what you guys want to do, and actually make sure your printers are working. If they're networked and the software is on your laptops, you should be good to go with everything that I've shown you here today. but we'll have to see.
Eric, can I ask you a question? Actually, two questions. If you were to print this 100 by 100 millimeter lithophane, how long would it take? And what is the approximate cost of each of those units?
The approximate cost is probably about 10 cents. And when you click slice, it's going to tell you exactly how long it takes to print. I think these take, well, we'll see. Ultimaker stuff is a lot faster gear than what I've got. So slice it and it will tell you. Oh, thinking hard on this one. Come on.
This is so cool.
Oh, it's incredible.
So I've asked them again to download the
So this print says it's going to take 7 hours, which is probably about accurate. And I'm not surprised. 3D printing is not a fast process. If you wanted to make that a little bit quicker though, and this is actually a good exercise, this is where we can change our layer height. 0.1 is extremely fine. I do make these at 0.2 layer height, and this should about half the print time. You might even be able to get away with 0.25. Once you start getting into the 0.3 and above millimeter range, for something like this that does have quite a bit of fine detail in it, you're going to start losing some of it. So yeah, that half it, 3 3/4 hour pretty much.
Right.
It's not a fast process no matter what you do.
Awesome.
Okay.
Really, really interesting.
Well, thank you very much, Eric. We really appreciate this. I did just send an email off to get the software downloaded, and I think we can get started from here.
Okay, excellent. And you guys should all have my email address now. So if you've got a question, you want to reach out, just feel free to shoot me a message. That's fine too.
That's great. Yeah. He sent it on his,
On my Gmail. So yeah, that's my personal email. So yeah, absolutely feel free with any questions.
yeah. Well, thank you. Any questions?
I'm really excited. I have a 3D sculpture class coming up in 2 weeks.
Really?
Cool. Yeah, take a step through Thingiverse for things to print. There's all manner of awesome stuff on there that you can just click, go, and hit print. I mean, that doesn't really get you into the design side of things, but it gets you started.
Right. What was the name of that site again?
Thingiverse is the one that has here. You know what? I'll just put it in the chat. We should have a chat function here, and then you guys can just cut and paste it. Okay, chat to everyone. And I will, I'll send you guys a link to, I'm gonna post this to my YouTube channel. So if you wanna go back over something. Okay, thingiverse.com, that's where you're gonna find millions and millions of models that are ready to print. Tinkercad is the one that we use for designing stuff. And I'm just gonna check the name of the other one. I believe it's lithomaker.com.
There's also a site that he sent me on Lithophane.
Yes.
So I sent it to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so here you go. Here's the 3 sites that we took a look at today. And that should give you quite a bit to sink your teeth into right off the hop. And I would love to do this again with you guys sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great, especially after we have it set up.
Yeah, once we get
Yeah,
it.
once things are kind of flowing a little bit and you've got some prints of your own going, the sky's the limit from there. There's some really advanced software we can get into if you wish.
Does Adobe make any 3D software?
No, Adobe doesn't make anything. Kind of the authority on 3D modeling stuff is still the AutoCAD end of things. And they have a product that's free to use called Fusion 360. Fusion 360 is extremely advanced and the learning curve on it is really steep. It's designed for engineers. So I wanted to show you that Tinkercad thing. You can do some really powerful stuff with that, and it's designed for kids to use. I use it all the time for making parts. Like I had to make some parts for my lawnmower last year, and I did that because the time it took me to do it on that platform versus using something like Fusion 360 or another one I
That
used.
Autodesk?
Yeah, it's an Autodesk product.
That's the one that they have on our computer, on our iMacs, Autodesk
Oh.
360.
Oh, okay. That is a design package. You want this Cura Ultimaker print package. And this is the difference between CAD and CAM. Fusion 360 is a CAD product. That's computer aided design. The Cura software is CAM. That's computer aided machining.
Oh, okay.
You can print directly out of Fusion 360 if you want to, but it gets really cumbersome when you just want to go download something and hit print, because that's not what it's meant for.
Okay.
And if you learn Fusion 360 and get good at it, teach me, please. I've been playing with it for a little over a year, and still, it's a really cumbersome bit of software.
So we could use that if we like took like Ishka art and put it onto Fusion 360. Is that how that would work?
You could, if you wanted to do that. Yeah, you can. There are other packages out there that are a little bit more friendly for things that are artistic versus mechanical parts. Let me take a look, because I can't remember the name of the package I'm thinking of right offhand, but when I do, I'll shoot all you guys an email. There are some easier stuff to use out there. And honestly, for the price of a smartphone these days with a built-in 3D scanner, that is a really cool way to replicate something if you, say, wanted to take a carving and then create a 3D print out of it. We can get more into that sort of thing and the artistic design and the stuff as we move on here. But first and foremost, just want to get you guys going.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's an area that I want to explore. So there was a language and culture grant that brought us to the States. There were some ideas I had in terms of storytelling and representation of that storytelling.
Yeah.
So if at some stage we can have a discussion about what the expectations are in terms of representations.
Yeah. That'd be really good. Like getting characters from all the stories bring it out.
Well, you've opened up a huge door for us, Eric.
Awesome. Right on. I'm glad to hear it. All kinds of-
Classroom. Can you hear them?
Open up Pandora's box.
I can sort of hear you guys when you're in the back corner of the room there. It's a little muffled.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah. Think of some stuff that you guys want to do. Like I said, shoot me a message. You can find me on Facebook too. That's just fine. Give me some ideas of where you guys want to go, and I will do my best to help you get there.
Yeah, he's on my page. So he goes by Gav Guy or Eric Gav.
It's Eric Gatlin on there too. It got confusing. I have friends from high school who still don't know what my first name is. Their parents don't. I didn't pick it.
That's awesome.
I think you can blame Keith Shanks for that one.
There's a lot of stories out there, right?
Oh God. Yes. All right. Is there anything else before we wrap this up today?
No. You got our brains going now. Thank you.
All right. Well, fantastic. I'm excited to move forward on this with you guys. This will be fun. And like I said, once COVID and whatnot's over, maybe I can make a trip out there. Like I said, I got to come up for a visit anyway. So
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. It's been a while.
Cool. Oh, I see.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that then, and I do expect to hear from all of you if you've got ideas.
Great.
All right, take care, folks. This was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.